How's everyone doing today? Hello, happy Sunday, everyone. And I'm excited to come here and share with you something I was thinking about this week leading up to today and the power of families. I'm amazed at this, amazed at how families have the ability to overcome adversity. And it's in our nature. It really is in our nature to survive. And I thought I'd come on here and share a little bit with you guys today. And I do hope you guys are doing great. Thanks for joining me, whether you are watching this live or you're watching the replay, the recording of it. Just let me know right below whether you're watching it on the actual post or on the community wall. Let me know that you're watching this live or you're watching the replay of it. I'd like to know. But anyway, let me go ahead and lower this put this music off. I like this music. I have nice little music here. It's something to calm me down and get my head in this space where we're going to talk right now. And so right now I want to talk about, you know, families and the adversity. Of course, coming through this pandemic, very challenging for a lot of families. Last week, we have families that are coming back from having to quarantine themselves, and it's like an ongoing thing. You know, when the kids would get it or a parent would get it, and they would get quarantined and or they get sick, and the family would mitigate that and just work through it. And when it's just really like a challenging time for many families, and they're coming back, and I'm just amazed at the stories that I'm hearing when parents are coming back. Of course, I'm instructor at Denali Karate Center. When a family comes back from a quarantine, they'll explain the challenges, because I'm at the front lobby. When you come into Denali Karate Center, I'm at the front counter, unless I'm in a conference with a family. I'm at the front counter. I call that my command center. When we started this pandemic experience, I got out of the office and went to the front in the lobby. So I have a counter there. When you come in, that's where I am. And I speak to parents every day when I'm there, and they share with me their challenges. And some of the challenges just really are amazing. And I don't know what you're going through right now, but I'm sure you've been through some challenges, some adversity in your family, whether it's an illness or something serious with your family that you've been through it. And I'm 60 years old, going to be celebrating 61 years. So in my 60 years, I've been confronted with some challenges, and reflecting back to my family, and when I think back to what my family went through and what I saw as a child, it does blow my mind that uh, that I'm here today, because there's some crazy things going on in my life. And this I just want to show you guys. This is where I grew up. I grew up in New York City, in the Bronx. And when you look here, you'll see, up here, we're right up here. Oops, right there. How? Right there, right there. I used to play in broken down buildings. That was my playground. And in the summertime, we would open up the hydrants, and that's what would cool us off. It was just what I knew, and playing in these tenements, broken down buildings, was just what I knew. I didn't know there was anything that was not that. And then, Alexander's. My mom worked in Alexander's there, up in Fordham Road, where she would work there, especially during the holidays, to earn enough money to get us Christmas presents under the tree. So when I reflect back at the adversities that my mom went through, my dad went through, my whole family went through, from substance abuse to a lot of violence in the streets, within the neighborhoods, and it just amazed me that they were confronted with that adversity. And then when I look through history and what families went through, and even now today what people are going through, so it amazes me that people uh, get through this. And this is when I teach a self-defense clinic. When I teach about self-defense, one of the things I have to remind the participants of is that you are designed to survive, and you'll either fight for your survival or you'll run from that survival. The fight or flight, this nature that we have. And so it's in our nature to confront adversity and get through it. And so for me, the message today really is simply to what's helped me a lot is to keep an eye on where you want to go. I'll be doing a life mastery coaching group, and I'm putting that together. I put the word out now. I'm going to start that in a couple of weeks, and it's going to talk about direction. It's going to talk about, regardless of what's in front of you as a challenge, that you are going to know where you're going to go. I will call this, like, let's say your North Star. You have a compass, and you're going to go in the direction of where you intend to go. We're going to call that your North, and have direction in life. I know sometimes when I'll ask a youth or even a young adult, or even sometimes a mature adult, where do you want to go in your life? And sometimes they will say, I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe, they're starting their life out and they're uncertain. They have all these gifts and talents, or they're confronted with a lot of challenges and disruptions in their life. And so it's uncertain where they should go. And for me, I've always, for the most part, knew where I wanted to go. And more importantly, I knew where I did not want to go. And that's growing up in the streets, growing up with the violence. I knew I did not want that. Growing up in an environment that was there was a lot of substance abuse. I knew I didn't want that in my life. And so I had pretty much had a direction of my life. When I met my wife 34 plus years ago, I knew when we got married, my proposal to her was to build. And I knew I had a direction where I wanted to go with family. And along the way, there were tools that I picked up. There was the library. I would go to the library, read a lot of books, got my hand on books. The computer came out. I got my hand on computers and learned the power of the technology all the way through to now. And I'm communicating with you guys using this tool to communicate with you. And there's one out there that needed to see this and hear this and meet with me today, whether you do it live or replay. And then along my 60 years, I've collected life lessons, thousands and thousands of life lessons that I now pass on to our students and to you guys. That's why I go live, just to pass on, because in my mind, I have all these lessons. Yesterday, I was teaching a class. I was teaching our advanced black belts, and I was talking about sparring and the value of putting yourself in a position where you're uncomfortable, but then you grow from that discomfort. You get used to being uncomfortable and you grow from that. And I kept sharing all these lessons, and a lot of the things that I was saying, these concepts, these principles, these ideas about life, I was sharing with them with respect to the martial art training. It was triggering a lot of life lessons, and it's just coming up over and over and over again. And I have all these life lessons that I share. And that's what I'll be sharing in the Life Mastery coaching group, and with with a direction, because we'll talk about your North. We'll talk about confidently going the direction you intend to go, and to be creative about it. Use your imagination. So there's all these life skills that I'll be teaching in this Life Mastery group. And of course, you're invited. If you want to be part of that, let me know. Just reach out to me. I'm very easy to find. And the last thing I want to share with you guys before I sign off with you is that transformation I found for me when I reflected earlier this morning, and I got with a mastermind group, and then I went online and I do church service online, and they were talking a little bit about your journey. And I had this idea that my foundation of my transformation, the foundation to my transformation to where I'm getting better and better to who I am today, a 60-year-old father, husband, teacher, and who I am right now, came through that foundation I stand on were the challenges of my life, those hard times that I went through, that I came through, that I overcame. And I know now at 60 years old, when I'm going through a tough time, there's that experience that I had, that foundation that I stand on, knowing that this will pass. I was talking to my wife's uncle, Uncle Terry. He's the pastor of Jacob's Chapel, AME Church here in Mount Laurel. And he's been there for a couple of decades. And I was talking to him yesterday, and we were talking about how our bodies are breaking down. He's going through, he just got out of the hospital, so he's recovering. And we were talking about how we're just taking one step at a time, and whatever challenges And we were talking with respect to what he's going through and what I'm going through right now. And we were saying and agreeing that this too shall pass. And when we get through this, this becomes part of the foundation that we stand on so that we can have the conviction to say, this too shall pass. And when I speak to my children, I speak to all students, I speak to young adults out there, or even to my peers, and they're going through a challenge, and it's easy for me to say, or easier for me to say, that this will pass. This will pass. And my foundation that I stand on are my experiences of the challenges of my life and the experiences that I've been through with other people, from the accidents that I've been on, the close calls that I've been, the illnesses, to losing a lot and gaining a lot through these several world experiences, these world changing experiences like the pandemic. Here we are coming through this. And this is my experience, our experience, and becomes part of the foundation that we stand on when we go to the young people, when we pass our knowledge to the young people. And we simply say to them when they're going through tough times, where they're struggling with their emotions and their spirit, their hearts and their bodies, we can go to them and say that this will pass. This will pass. And they say, well, how do you know? We can confidently say, because I've been through a lot and enough to know that it will pass. This will pass. And so anyway, our transformation, as we transform ourselves and we evolve and we get smarter and wiser in our lives, in our days, it's more because of those challenging times. So let's embrace those challenging times. And if you're going through one right now, if it's tough right now and your heart is aching and you're worried, you're concerned, it will pass. This will pass. And just reflect on your life. It will. And we just got to hang in there, just one day at a time, one moment at a time, and embrace the moment, embrace the experience, and know that one day you will be in front of someone, maybe tomorrow, and you'll say to them when they share with you that they are struggling and they don't know how to they're going to get through what they need to get through. You're going to simply say to them, this will pass, and let them know they're not alone. We don't have the answers for everyone, right? We don't have all the answers. We don't have any answer for everyone, but we do know that this will pass. Just hang in there. All right, guys, that's what I have for you today. That's my Sunday message, if that makes sense. Thank you so much for spending this time. If you watch this live, let me know. If you watch the replay, let me know. Other than that, guys, if you want to be part of my Life Mastery group, it's a group coaching group that I'll be doing something every week, several things just to share with you guys the knowledge and share some concepts and principles of life and mastering your life. And then I'll be drawing from my own life lessons that will become the foundation to these concepts and these principles. And I'd love to hear from you, especially if you're a parent or a grandparent. And of course, this is all kids, youth, and parents and grandparents are welcome to this group. This is for you. This is for us. Until next time, take care. Have a great day.